welcome to this very first episode of Let's Play a Pacifist in Bloodmoon. With me, Icehair, aka Icehair's Stuff, aka the guy who does Pacifist Let's Plays in Oblivion. But this, as you can see, is not Oblivion. This is Morrowind, the Elder Scrolls 3, and the expansion for Morrowind called Bloodmoon. This Let's Play came about for two reasons. First of all, I've already done a Pacifist Let's Play in Morrowind, but I never actually played the expansions in my original experiment in Morrowind and doing a Pacifist. I basically knew I wouldn't be able to finish any of them, so I didn't even start. The second reason why I'm doing now Pacifist LP and Morrowind or in Bloodmoon is that
I am Captain Falx, commander of Fort Frostmourne.
Well, it's not. The reason is not that you are Captain Falx. The reason is that Skyrim is just around the corner, and to my knowledge, Bloodmoon has probably the largest amount of Nords in the Elder Scrolls up until Skyrim, because Skyrim is all set in the north of Tamriel with the Nords, and their lands being sort of the area that it focuses on. And this expansion features the island of Solstheim, this island, which has an awful lot of Nords, especially in the north here. So I have two, objectives with this Let's Play. I'm going to see how far I can advance in the Bloodmoon main quest as a pacifist, and I'm going to also try and play this basically because I'm brushing up sort of the lore of the Nords in preparation for Skyrim, to sort of remind us all what those Nords are all about, or at least what they were about in previous installments of the Elder Scrolls.
Yes? What can I do for you?
Finally, personally, I have a rather close relationship with the Nords because they've always been sort of vaguely, loosely based on Scandinavian things and old Norse sagas and all that stuff, and since I am by nationality Norwegian, I recognise some of this stuff, and I might be able to point out some things that an English-speaking monoglyph might want to learn about, I guess. So I'm here with Captain Falx, who has just introduced himself. I've done the very first quest in Bloodmoon, which is to figure out why the island is basically, or at least the Imperial colonies here in the south, are basically without any alcohol. So I've solved that quest, and I've retrieved the alcohol and placed it here, where Captain Carius can do what he wants with it, basically. There was this guy, Antonius Nuncius, who was a priest, and he'd hidden it all away, basically, to keep... It's a long story. Essentially, I solved the quest, and I'm going to get on with the kinds of quests which are a bit more difficult, and which will take me to the north, to where the Nords are. I'm not going to bother with those quests to do with the Raven Rock colony a lot, at least not to begin with, because I want to get up to the Nords as quickly as possible, basically.
Oh well, duty calls.
But I do believe that Falx has another mission for me first. He says, "You've helped me deal with the low morale at the fort. Perhaps you can help with some other fort business, alright? As I've told you, not all my soldiers here are trustworthy. Many were sent to this fort in lieu of Eberhardt's dungeons. Now I fear that a criminal element has shown itself at Fort Frostmourne, isn't that? Well, Fort Frostmourne sounds like a contradiction in terms. How can a moth survive frost? Anyway, Carius says, I believe that there are weapons being smuggled out of here and sold on Vardenfell, the main island in Morrowind. So, someone is smuggling them off Solstheim, this island, to be sold, and I want you to uncover this smuggling ring, and I will provide you with a bit of help. What sort of help? I'd like you to work with one of my soldiers on this case. There are 2 available for you, and 2 of the best here at Fort Frostmoth. There's Sanus Lucius and Gaia Artoria. I'll find Lucius in the general quarters and Artoria in the upper level of the general quarters. I'm supposed to speak with them and decide which will be my companion. And report to me when I've unearthed the smuggling ring, and I can deal with the smugglers to my discretion. Sanus Lucius knows more about the daily activities here at the fort than any other soldier in my command. While not our strongest fighter, he more than makes up for it with his savvy. He may be the best suited to ferret out the smuggling ring. And Gaia Artoria is one of my most loyal soldiers, he says, and one of my most powerful. I've never seen him bested in combat, and his skill with weapons is legendary here at the fort. Should you encounter any resistance with these smugglers, Artoria will be a valuable ally.
Have you found more information on the weapons being smuggled?
I'm sure it should be a valuable assistance if I wanted to gut all the smugglers, but since I'm a pacifist, not so interested in that. I'm gonna look for Lucius instead. By the way, about this character and her adventures in Morrowind, I'll try not to spoil too much of that, because you can actually read about her adventures in Morrowind, my experiment there, on my blog. I'll put the link to the relevant document on my blog in the commentary file. Sorry, in the commentary field for this Let's Play.
Captain Carius mentioned that you might come to speak with me. How may I assist you?
Well, Lucius, Captain Carius mentioned that you might be a good assistant. So what sort of assistance can you offer? Oh yes, this smuggling ring. Captain Carius mentioned something about that. I'll be glad to help, though I'm admittedly not the most handy with my blade. I believe I can help guide you through this conundrum. Well, I'd like you to work with me, then. Excellent. Gaia Artoria will have to perform the other task that Captain Carius had for me today, but no matter. Let's find these scoundrels. Yep. Let's by all means find them. Where do we start? Weapons being smuggled? I suggest, he says, we speak with some of the soldiers here at the fort. A motley bunch, to be sure, but some of them are fair soldiers. I've developed quite a rapport with a few, in fact. Why don't we begin by speaking with Zeno Faustus? He's an interesting character, and we'll find him in the armory. Very well. Off to the armory it is, then. You'll notice I've got an awful lot of mods installed. Most notably, perhaps the Morrowind overhaul mod. Morrowind was never an entirely stable game. The fact that I've got all these mods does nothing to make it any more stable, that's for sure. And, whoa. This guy is much... No, he's not much taller than me, he's just on the stairs. Sorry, as I was saying, finally, I'm also recording using fraps, and that tends to cause even more problems. So we may experience some error messages, some crashes even, but the overhauled mod really does an awful lot for the visual outlook of the whole game, and I thought that would be nice to have in a set of videos. So, yeah, you said we were going to talk to this Xenophostus guy.
What is it you want?
Well, what we want, frankly, Lucius suggested you might know something about the weapons being smuggled. I mean, you being a smith and all. Smuggling, well, if you're with Lucius, I guess I can tell you what I've heard. Check out the Gandrun Caverns a bit northeast of the fort. I've heard a couple of soldiers talk about the place. They mentioned weapons that were stashed there. Look, you didn't hear it from me, though. I'll deny it. Okay, so Gandrun Caverns, northeast of the fort. That sound like a clue we should follow up on? Yeah. Let's finish, Lucius says. Northeast? Northeast from the fort? Oh, I love the music for Morrowind, the title music, it's beautiful, isn't it? Come on, Lucius, catch up. I know you don't have any boots of lightning speed like me, but I mean, you're an athlete, you're a Imperial Guard and stuff, you should be able to quick march. Wow, what happens? Ah, right. Here we are. This looks like an old Nord barrow, and oh, don't crash, don't crash. Okay, just loading a bit, that's fine. I think it's time to make a little save. Let's play Pacifist. Blood. Okay. You're with me, Lucius? Good. Pretty good. Went into the caverns. A lot of the caverns and places in Solstheim have names taken from Scandinavian languages. And that's a rat, by the way. A rat is not someone I have any qualms about killing off, basically. Cost us the beautiful music, though. Oh, well. Anyway, Gondrung. It's not exactly Norwegian, but Gond is an old Norse word, I think. Sometimes still remembered in some Norwegian dialects as Gon. It simply means sort of evil, vicious, black magic. And Rung, it could have to do with a word that means something like boom, like a booming sound. So the booming sound of black magic is what these caverns are named after, I should think. A chest. Interesting. Anything to do with the supposedly stolen weapons, I do wonder? Let's cast my own, and I failed casting it. But second time round. Well, there's a bunch of throwing stars. Some amulets, some lockpicks. A bargain, very cheap restore health potion. Well, this might amount to evidence, so I'll pick it up. Use that at the earliest occasion. Ooh, listen to the ghosts howling, I'm not going to take anything else. Another chest. More weapons. Wow, glass poison sword. Oh, and hello! Whoa! Wow! A ring of summoning frost summons a frost atronach and resists frost. Also does frost damage on touch. Wow! A frost eater robe. I've been looking for something like this because I think this character would look good in a robe. That's well, that could be and hotwood. Right, that's an alchemy ingredient. I'm not gonna bother with that, but restore health potions are always nice. I'm thinking this might be some of the stolen weaponry and stuff, and I'm not gonna bother with an iron pauldron. Yeah, look at that. Like I said, I'm not gonna. Well, probably this Let's Play will almost have to spoil some of this character's earlier activities. I'll try not to spoil too much, but I think with her kind of character and career, she'd look good in her robe. It also looks a bit more pacifist, doesn't it, than being all kitted out in sort of armor and stuff. So, yeah, I'll take the helm off. Actually, just looks more like this kind of character. And there's somebody charging us, and I think it's a person, so I'm gonna ready my calm spell. And,
come on, fight!
He says that, but he doesn't mean it. Fortunately.
Come on, fight!
You with me, Lucius? Yeah. Good.